Yes, this video's title is definitely not clickbait. Today we're going to try and make a game inside of the best game engine you've never heard of. Is it a real competitor to Unity and Unreal? Maybe? Since it uses C#. Moreover, most of you probably have it installed on your computer, and you don't even know about that. Yes, it was hiding right under our noses all of these years. The true best game engine. And its name... WinForms. Wait, what? Let's start from the beginning. If you have Visual Studio installed, normal one, not VS Code, we won't need that. You've probably noticed that you can make more than just console apps and Unity scripts. Like, a lot of weird stuff. But among that trash, I found a real hidden gem. Humanity's only hope to end all best game engine debates, because subjectively, it is the best one, and it hides behind the title WinForms app. But don't let it deceive you, it has everything you need. So let's double click and dive in already. We are greeted by a simple window that has nothing in it. Bet you're ready to say I'm a liar and clickbaiter, because where's the engine? But wait a sec, we're getting there. After double clicking again, we are transported to the code editor, and it must be our lucky day. It's your old friend C#, Unity devs, and if you don't know C#, learn it, I guess. The point is, it's a great replacement for Unity that won't ask for your money after each install. And I know this decision was cancelled, but if it wasn't, then most of the devs would have migrated here for sure. I mean, it's such a great tool. What the fuck? You still don't believe me? Obviously you don't, silly. Well, how do you like local game objects? Label, button, rich freaking label, and picture box. Yeah, they don't even have colliders. But come on, colliders are for weaklings. I think it won't be a problem to write like 30 lines for a collision system. Look, even ChatGPT says it's possible. Also, ignore what it says below. We actually know that WinForms is the best 2D game engine. As you can see, this collider actually works. This miracle, I can't call it anything else, works through the paint method. Huh, it even got here. Which is a way to render stuff. But I love paint. So obviously WinForms 1, other sane engines 0. Now let's fix movement in this game, because it's really slow. The reason is that we currently use built-in events, specifically on key down event, but for smooth movement we need to use something quicker. That's exactly why functions like update or process exist, and we will make our own here. Using a timer, we immediately can see how easy it is to move for our blue square. Cool, but it's made the way I don't prefer, so let's rewrite our logic using vectors. But WinForms doesn't have vector 2. It does. Passively aggressive ChatGPT. Well, I don't have it, ChatGPT. Probably because I chose the old version of .NET. So let's just reinvent math real quick and make our own vector 2 class. A vector is basically just two numbers representing a position or direction. Here's an infographic for you, so you get it for sure. Also, let's throw in some useful functions, so we don't have to do calculations in our main script. I don't like math, and big formulas scare me a lot. Just like 90% of people who are not subscribed to my channel, but I think you can help me with that, and click that subscribe button below. Thanks! Now we have movement of a sane person, and the square doesn't sprint when moving at angles, because we normalized vectors. With this logic, we can now make different kinds of games. For example, Vampire Survivors, or Sokoban, or Pong. Let's make it first, since it's super easy. For that we'll need to make our own game objects, like in Unity, to make everything easier, since right now we only have collision check with one particular rectangle. But if we make a class of such walls, or better, colliders, we will be able to detect any collision and not write a million lines of codes for that. Cool, right? Now we need to make a ball that will bounce from everything. The problem I found is that we need it to bounce differently depending on where it hit. In theory, ball can check the class of an object on hit, but that's kinda cringe. We are writing C# code after all, so let's make an interface for the ball. A magic thingy that is implemented the same way, everything can interact with it differently, and most importantly, it kicks our ball. That sounded kinda weird. Next, I've made an enemy out of player. Yeah, sounds bizarre, but I was too lazy to write all of the logic again, so it inherits everything from our player class. Meet AI, dumb little brother of the player spell. But what can AI do? Almost nothing. AI always knows where the ball is, but his intellectual capabilities, which are definitely not affected by my poor coding skills, are rather bad, so he's unable to actually predict where the ball is going. At least he's trying to. Did I mention that he somehow lost to himself? Yeah. Lobotomy goes crazy in 2026. And it actually works, but the game is slightly buggy and slow. It's day 10. No one has won so far. Well, what's wrong with this masterpiece? Well, first of all, this shit is fucking boring, because the ball is really slow. Second, game ends after one person loses, just like in Russian roulette. After increasing speed and ball response, it's definitely better, but this game's concept got old like 40 years ago. Sokoban is a game where you work in Amazon warehouse and do a lot of manual free labor. aka pushing heavy boxes. Which doesn't sound very fun, just like real life. But the difference is that you can actually quit Sokoban. Cool, let's make it using WinForms. But we will use sprites instead of squares, because you must agree it looks better this way. Actually making Sokoban is even easier than making Pong. Yeah, I was shocked as well. Here's how the logic goes. We press a button, and if there is an obstacle, we stop. If it's a box, we check the tile next to it. If it's empty, we move with it. Else stop. It's that easy. We won't even need our cool game objects. Unfortunately. I quickly drew some minimal graphics and this little fella that is going to push. And a lot. Unpaid labor. Terrible working conditions. Fuck, why do I always make games realistic instead of fun? Well, the controls logic is pretty clear, the tile map is a bit more ambiguous. There's just a lot of ways to make it. But I made it so tile types are stored in enum, and level is just an array of strings, where tiles are represented as different symbols. Yes, this also gives us a basic level editor. And as a result, modding. In Windows forms, by the way. Player and boxes are separate objects, so we can't make them be tiles. And also I found a problem with rendering. Now that I've added player with movement, we get flashbang each time it moves.
Throwing flashbang.
Which is not cool. It's easily fixed by turning on double buffer, but also it's a bit dumb to re-render objects that are never going to move, right? So I also excluded all of the walls and floors from render. I actually did not do it, because I got stuck somewhere. And it works fine. That's cool and all, but as you probably guessed, this video is mostly a joke, and the best game engine does not exist. And I won't get tired of saying that, since you could make a game anywhere if you really wanted to, and it won't be half bad either. But would any sane person, not me by the way, even use WinForms? After searching the web, I found videos where people unironically make games here, and it's kinda cute, I guess. This guy made a freaking Street Fighter, and this one says it's possible to add 3D. I'll just believe his words, and I kinda forgot to make Vampire Survivors clone, but if this video gets 40 likes, I'll definitely do it.